Okay, so today I am going to teach you a little bit about happiness and the happiest country in the world and what they're doing better than what we're doing here in America. Okay, so first, what is happiness? So there's a few ways that happiness is defined. Um, First, just the word happiness can be defined as state of mind or feeling characterized by contentment, satisfaction, pleasure, or joy. Pretty much everybody has their own kind of definition for happiness. So, another word that's often used synonymously with happiness is life satisfaction. So, life satisfaction is an individual's perceived level of well being and happiness. So, life satisfaction is kind of like how happy do you see yourself? Um, like, what's your level of happiness that you perceive yourself as? And then, subjective well being is an individual's current evaluation of his or her happiness, which is pretty synonymous with life satisfaction. And they're all very similar. Yes. Okay. So, the top 10 happiest countries in the world from the 2012 World Happiness Report. Number one, Denmark. Denmark is this tiny little state up like next to Germany, right below Sweden. It has a population of about 5.5 million people. It's about the size of Florida. So to drive from one coast to the other takes about 5 hours. So, and then the other countries on here are Finland, Norway, Netherlands, Canada, Switzerland, Sweden, New Zealand, Australia, and Ireland. And ... United States is number 11. So, why are the Danes the happiest? I mean, some people haven't even heard of the country Denmark. Like, they don't have great weather, there's not huge tourist attractions, they have a monarchy. Did anybody even know that they have a king and a queen? No. So, like, why are they the happiest? First, I'm going to talk about income and its correlations to happiness. So, does money buy you happiness? Kind of, in a way. A study done by Daniel Kahneman, he found that as income rises, so does emotional well-being until you hit a certain set point. So once you're at that set point, people who are making that certain amount of money and people as rich as Bill Gates have the same levels of well-being, or money will not affect their levels of well-being. So what do you think that this magic number is? So I'm going to do a poll. So if you just want to get your phones out, we can figure out what people think that set level of income is. Once this opens. So, what it's gonna say is, it's gonna say 50,000, 75,000, 100,000, and 125,000. So, you could just think about that and text in your answers. So, obviously this is a rehearsal, so I'll try to get it working for when I really present. Okay, so back. So, group consensus, you're right or they're wrong. $75,000. That's the magic number. So, once people are making $75,000, they're meeting all their basic human needs, their needs for, food, shelter, security, all that. After you're set on that and you don't have to worry about that, there's no difference of people in regards to their happiness and money. So, if money doesn't make us happy, then what does? Doing something meaningful and fulfilling is what the research has found. So that means having a job where you're going to work and you feel like you're doing something that is meaningful to you and something that you find fulfilling. Whether that be accounting, someone may love numbers and feel that when they're doing accounting for business, they're helping that business to prosper, and then that business can help others do whatever business they're doing. So whatever. It could be accounting, or it could be something like being a teacher. People might find, for example, like this class, you might find teaching kids about whatever subject that you are passionate about, that's meaningful and fulfilling to you. So a huge part of happiness that has been found in the research is doing something that you find meaningful and fulfilling. So, back to the Danes. What does this have to do with why they are so happy? Well, in Denmark, everyone is pretty much on all similar economic levels because they pay 50% taxes and they get it all back. Well, they don't get it all back, but they pay taxes and then the money is redispersed. So, what does this mean? This means that the people in Denmark are not as concerned with having jobs that just make a ton of money for their family, to provide for their family. So it's more reason to be able to do something that you love, rather than in America, for example, people often follow the American dream of just making a ton of money so that they're comfortable with their family. But as research has shown with income, it doesn't actually. Once you hit that 75,000, money's not going to make you any happier. So, for example, I studied abroad in Denmark this summer, and as a part of one of my classes, we volunteered at a school, ages 3 to 6, and pretty much the whole time they just had recess every day. So I was talking to one of the teachers and, kind of asking him, because there were a lot of men, which is kind of surprising in, like a kindergarten situation. You don't see men, like preschool teachers as often. So I was kind of asking, like, why do you do this? Why do you love this job? Or why do you do this job? And he was like, I'm so grateful that in Denmark, I feel that I have the opportunity to just, I might not make a ton of money, but I come to work and am so happy every day doing, I love being with these kids every day. And I have never heard someone talk so passionately about their job, So that is one huge reason that Denmark is one of the happiest countries in the world. People simply do things that they find meaningful and fulfilling. So, what's another reason that the Danes are the happiest? This might not make much sense when I first say it, but they have low expectations. So the Danes are surprised every year to find out that they're the happiest country in the world. In interviews with Danes, asking them, are telling them that they're the happiest country in the world, they're like, what? No way. Like, I would expect us to be in the top 25, but not number 1. So, year after year, the citizens of Denmark are pleasantly surprised to find out that the state of Denmark is not getting more rotten. And it's actually kind of logical. Because if you think about it, okay, so you expect that this is something that the Danes often do. They just expect that the weather is always going to be bad, which it is in the winter pretty bad in Denmark. It's very cold, and it's light for like 5 hours a day. So if you expect the weather to be bad, and then it turns out to be good, you're pleasantly surprised and happy. But if you were expecting the weather to be bad and it turns out bad, you're not disappointed because that's what you were expecting. So it actually makes pretty logical sense. So that are a few things on happiness and how the Danes are happier than anybody else in the world. So I hope that you're taking a few notes, and I hope that you find something that you're passionate about and that you find meaningful and fulfilling.